Today we're going to make another pie, but a completely different type of pie. This is called homity pie, and it's an open top pie. So whereas last time we had no base, this time we've got no lid. I've got a pie dish, I've got some short crust pastry, and basically the filling is made up of potatoes, leeks, onion, a little bit of garlic, some bacon lardons and cheese. It's a really easy thing to do. It literally is more of a thing that you just throw in whatever you've got, basically, which is, I think, where it came from the World War. So people just
the World War, did it?
World War.
It came from World War II, and the idea, they think it came from the Land Girls.
It did.
Rumour has it, we're in Cornwall, it was actually called Devon pie. But that's okay, because we're southwest, we're not necessarily just Cornwall. So,
basically, what we are going to do is, I've peeled and cubed my potatoes. They're in the saucepan just there. They need to be brought to the boil and simmered for about 10 to maybe 15 minutes.
Yep, the oven's on as well if you want to watch this kicked in.
Because whilst the potatoes are softening, I need to bake my pastry blind. So I'm going to put my potatoes on a minute.
And your water's salted in your potatoes?
Yeah, salted water. And then I'm going to put a small amount of flour around, not because I'm going to roll it out directly on that flour, but it's going to come off of the grease proof and I don't want it to stick. So this is short crust pastry, and basically this rectangle needs to fit into that round.
Yeah, we're using our new pie dish again because we love the pie dish, isn't it?
So the thing with this pie is, because there is no lid, if I need to take some off the side and patch up this side by the looks of it, I can do so with no problem.
Yeah, very cosmetic and it won't be seen.
I made this pie a couple of weeks ago and it was a real success. If you like quiche type things, it's very similar but with potatoes.
I did look up, we were looking up various versions of this recipe because there are lots and lots of versions of this online, because you can throw anything you like in, and there are vegetarian versions which are completely vegetarian, and there are ones that add a bit of bacon or something else in them as well, which we're doing. We're just enhancing it slightly.
And we're just doing it to our own taste.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, obviously, if it comes from the war, you had to basically use everything that you had, and a lot of people don't actually peel the spuds in this. You do. It's just a kind of personal preference.
I do.
We have actually seen one with a bit of apple in as well, which might be an interesting idea.
That is interesting.
So maybe we'll try that again at some point. And I think I've had this in a vegetarian restaurant with carrots. Yes, I have gone to a vegetarian restaurant from time to time.
You can actually use any root vegetable, it says.
Yeah, I think the whole point is that because it's all predominantly cooked and then all thrown in together. Someone else described this as, don't think of it as a kind of pie, think of it as a jacket spud. One of those jacket potatoes that you mix all the lovely goodness in, all the cheese and the onions and everything else into it, and then double bake it. So it's that kind of thing.
So, pastry's in the dish. I'm going to pick it all over the base. And obviously, because the pie dish is solid, it's not a loose based dish, I don't need to worry about anything running out. Not that it's a runny filling anyway, but just as. And then I'm going to get my piece of baking parchment and I'm going to screw it up.
Oh, you're scrunching. Okay.
Scrunching. I'm making, well, I could make a cartouche.
A cartouche, yeah, that's very good. That's very chefy.
Casserole. But I'm not. I'm just going to take my...
Here was I going to demonstrate how you cut a perfect circle in a piece of greaseproof paper, and you didn't need that. Now I know why.
There we go. So you just
You're making a little pocket.
put it in like that. Cover your pastry up. And then I have got a nice tub of proper baking beans, which are ceramic. They've been absolutely amazing. I've had them years.
Yeah, they're worth every penny if you're into baking, aren't they, really?
If you don't have baking beans, you can use rice, you can use beans, you can use any type of pods, lentils or anything
any kind
like
of those
that.
dried
But obviously,
things.
if you're going to use like beans or lentils or things like that, they're not really good for eating after. So
Yeah, this is for use over and over again.
Yeah,
and they weren't very expensive at all, these. They're very...
And these are brilliant because they're ceramic. They get very hot, so they also cook from the inside? Like upside down, if you like.
Great.
So this is going to go into the oven at 190 degrees for 20 minutes or until it's golden brown. So I'm just going to whip this in the oven. So I've just taken the potatoes off. They've been boiled and now they're cooling. And now we're going to start the rest of the filling. So you need some butter and some vegetable oil or olive oil or whatever oil you want, but basically oil and butter. Butter for flavour, oil to stop it burning. So heat a pan, a large frying pan with your butter and your oil. By the way, this recipe I got from online from the Greedy Gourmet.
Yeah, like we said, there are dozens and dozens of recipes for hominy pie because you can throw anything you like in it.
Exactly, but I like this one. But having said that, I like this one, I do like this one, but I have added bacon into it, which is not in his recipe. So, but I do like his recipe because I prefer to blind bake my pastry first. Right, so butter's melting, and in goes a large onion.
Which we prepared earlier, or Caddy prepared earlier. I just sat and watched.
Not particularly finely, just chopped it.
It's country food, so it's kind of all rustic. Rustic, that's the word. I knew it was a word just somewhere.
And a large leek.
I have to say, we didn't use leeks very much until recently, and we absolutely love them now. It's one of those almost forgotten vegetables, isn't it?
So these two vegetables need to cook down and caramelise together. I'm sorry my stove takes a little while to get heating, but once it starts going.
Can I ask if the garlic need to go in at this point with the onions or
no,
not?
The garlic needs to go in when the leek and onion are nice and soft, because you don't want the garlic to burn, and the garlic will burn way quicker than the leek and onion cook.
Fair enough.
Okay, so the leeks and onions are nicely caramelising together now. You can see that they've lost a lot of their volume, so in goes the little bit of garlic. You can use garlic if you want, you don't have to if you don't want to.
A lot of the recipes are also saying use thyme, and if we haven't got any thyme, we won't use that. So.
I literally only put one clove of garlic in there because I don't think you want it really garlicky. And the other thing I'm going to put in now are my bacon lardons. I'm using 2 of the little packets if they come in the small packets like these.
Again, you can just use normal bacon and just chop your own, but we're just doing it for speed wise.
Just those bits. Just let that happen, you know. Cut the bacon off a little bit now.
Looks great, colours are lovely. Smells good too, I have to say. I'm a very lucky cameraman actually, if I like smells like this.
So what I'm going to do is pour the potato now into the saucepan, because as soon as this is finished, I'm putting it straight in on top of the potatoes. And then we're going to leave it for probably 10 minutes just so it goes off not quite so hot, and then I'll be adding 60 mils of double cream. And when I've added the cream, we'll add half of the cheese, and then into the pastry it goes, and it's basically done. You just sprinkle the rest of the cheese on the top, but we're nearly there. I don't know if you want to come back once I've done this bit. Right, so the leeks, onions, garlic and bacon are done. I'm going to put the whole lot in on top of the potatoes, like so. Give that lot a bit of a mix, and it really does not matter if your potatoes break up or they don't, because they're going back in the oven for 40 minutes. So it really is like a double baked jacket potato. So there we go. Now I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes just so that the heat leaves it, so that I can mix cream and half of the cheese in it without it all curdling and cooking in the saucepan.
So before we go away, do you want to just show what happens to your blind baked
This is my
flan or tart or pie?
This is the pie dish with the blind baked pastry in it. As you can see, it's all nice and golden.
And crisp.
Crispy on the bottom, which is perfect. The cheese they recommend using is a mature, sort of strongish cheese, obviously, because you're going to want to taste it. So
you're not into as strong cheese as me, so we're going for a medium.
We've got a medium. They say the recipe, not that we're following the recipe strictly, but the recipe says that you need 150 grams of cheese. This is 250 grams.
We like cheese.
We like cheese.
Yeah.
So I'm going to mix half of it in with the mixture, and then I'm going to sprinkle the rest over the top so it's sort of caramelised. It's not been 10 minutes. That's still hot. But we've got a huge storm brewing up here, and the lights keep going on and off, and the electric.
It has been hilarious, hasn't it, the last few minutes?
If the electric goes off, we can't cook. So I'm skipping the cool down bit. I'm going straight for the kill.
Yeah, use your imagination, okay? And hopefully it won't be in the dark.
If it goes dark completely, we've got a power cut. In goes 60 mils of double cream.
Hopefully this won't turn into a custard, which I suppose is why they want it cooled down, really. It'll be fine.
Well, it's going to go back in the oven anyway, hopefully, but I'd rather it went back in the oven complete than in pieces. And then I'm putting in half of this cheese-ish. Just mix the whole lot together. Doesn't really matter how good at it you are or not, because obviously the cheese is going to melt. Give it a good mix round. The cream obviously makes it nice and it just. I tell you, I made this before, and we had it for tea one night, and then there was half of the pie left, and I ate the whole of the half of the pie, slice by slice, the next day.
We were saying it's actually a really good recipe cold.
In it goes.
I think the description of this currently is unctuous. That's my word for the day. Okay?
Yeah, unctuous is
I couldn't spell it, but it sounds good. And again, it is one of those recipes that you can eat hot with, we were saying, like baked beans, blob of ketchup, even a bit of salad.
Salad would be lovely.
Lots of different ways. But the next day, it kind of works. It's like one of those things, like a stew. And the next day, it's better. So, again, it's very versatile.
The next day, you could use it for like picnic lunches or pat lunches, anything like that. It's an absolutely brilliant one for taking to the beach. It's a bit like a Cornish pasty, in as much as because you've got a bit of a pastry outside, you can hold it on the outside and not get sand on the inside if you're going to the beach.
Not going to collapse, is it? So.
No. So there, you sort of shove it in a bit.
That's
doesn't have to be
shoving
smart.
it in.
No, it doesn't need to be smart. In fact, the more gnarly, sticky up bits, the better. There we go.
Yeah, because obviously the more little bits that are sticking up, the more bits that catch and gives you a different texture.
And then you just put the rest of the cheese over the top.
Now we're not being sponsored by Sainsbury's or anybody, it just happens to be that's where we were today. If you know Penzance, Sainsbury's is the big supermarket, and you're just showing a little bit of B-roll footage of the weather. It was awful today. So
That's
again,
it.
Nice comfort food again.
And this is now going back in the oven again, 180 this time, for 40 minutes.
Okay.
That finishes cooking the potatoes and it makes it all go lush. So we'll show you when it comes out in 40 minutes, hopefully, as long as the weather doesn't take our electric away.
Yeah, we're not having any clips.
Keep your fingers crossed. I've just checked the recipe and I got it wrong. It goes in 180 for 20 minutes, not 40. Don't leave it for 40 minutes, it'll be black.
I had all those plans for what I was going to do for 40 minutes, and I've only got 20 minutes to do them in.
Exactly. Got just about time to do the washing up, love, haven't you?
Cheers, love.
Off we go.
Bye.
See you in a minute. Right, it's ready. There we go. One fresh out the oven, boiling hot hominy pie. I need to put it down.
I would.
There you go. As you can see, there is a thick, nice scrummy crust of cheese on there. You obviously don't need to put so much on if you don't want to. It's very much cook it to your own taste, and that's exactly what we've done.
And we have a daughter who absolutely adores cheese, so
Exactly.
therefore...
So hominy pie, bung in what you want, make it to your own taste, add herbs if you want to, don't add them if you don't want to, stick spinach in, stick root vegetables in, do whatever you like. But a hominy pie is just what you need in this horrible, horrible weather. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you all again soon.